everyone. My name is Samantha Lynn Fiesta. I'm 31 years old and I'm a general practitioner. So today I'm making a video to talk a little bit about myself, my career and profession as a doctor. Just to share a little bit about myself, I was born in Belize City and I grew up in San Antonio Village, Cayo for most of my childhood. I went to Sacred Heart High School and then I attended medical school through a government scholarship. I was granted this scholarship in the year 2008 to study medicine in Cuba and graduated in 2015. So I spent 6.5 years in Cuba, which on average is the time it takes to become a doctor, 6 to 7 years. It took the first 6 months to do pre-med, which is a preparation to initiate medical school. Pre-med is important because it looks at what level you are academically and it highlights subjects in which you may need some improvement. For example, in most cases for Belizean students, the language, which was Spanish, was a barrier. So learning Spanish was a must, and it was one of the subjects that you start in pre-med. In my case, I knew Spanish, so I didn't have any difficulty with the language. And I must say, during this 6 months pre-med period, most non-Spanish speaking learned Spanish. So I think pre-med is very important. Another subject that was very interesting in pre-med was learning how to learn. In Spanish is aprender a aprender. It was so funny because it teaches you methods of studying and which method would go best with you. Everybody has a different study method. Some people prefer visual learning, some prefer face-to-face learning. So it was really interesting, and that was one of the subjects as well in pre-med. After pre-med, then you start medical school in sense that in your first and second year we do mostly theory, meaning we don't really see patients. Some subjects would be anatomy, biochemistry, microbiology, pathology, and now in third to sixth year, that's when we start mostly clinical, meaning we go to the hospitals and we still have classes. We rotate in different hospitals with different specialties, and in third year we do internal medicine mostly, and we also start doing pharmacology. Fourth year we do pediatrics, gynecology, surgery, and psychiatry. And in fifth year we would do all the smaller subspecialties. We would rotate in orthopedics, ENT, ophthalmology, dermatology. So your first 3, 4th, and 5th year is basically learning the different specialties. In our case as general practitioners, we learn the basics of and the most common illnesses in these different specialties. And in 6th year, it's a compilation of everything, and we do rotate in 4 of the major specialties, which is surgery, pediatrics, gynecology, and internal medicine. And let's just say that without education, I wouldn't have been able to pursue a medical degree. Having a high school and a college degree is essential, with a special focus in the science to venture into any of the medical field. As I mentioned before, science such as chemistry and biology are the backbone to venture into any health field or career, and not just medicine, it applies as well for nursing, laboratory, pharmacy, etc. Physics, I would say, is a plus, but if you do two or three sciences in high school, then you are on the right track. Always have a positive attitude, positive mentality. Know that you are capable and you are able to pursue your dreams. Zero negativity. During medical school, you must develop good habits. Why? Because they have a positive physical, emotion, and psychological outcome. For example, having healthy meals, especially at breakfast, drinking enough water, reading daily at least 1 to 2 hours, avoiding distraction, in this case, for most of us, social media, and do regular physical activities or exercises. I was fortunate enough to attend a medical university that included physical education 3 times per week in our first and second year of medicine. You're able to choose a sport of your liking, and that is something really incredible. After graduating high school, I didn't know what I was going to do. Honestly, I never thought that I would become a doctor. I was shown an article on the newspaper by one of my uncles about, well, it was an announcement um, for applicants to study in Cuba, to study medicine. I saw the opportunity and I sent in my application to the Cuban Embassy and the Ministry of Education. And that's how I made up my mind that I wanted to pursue medicine. And that was the moment where I was like, I'm gonna try this. Coming back to Belize, and as a foreign graduate of Cuba, we are obligated to do an additional 1 year internship program at the KHMH. After concluding my internship, I applied for a post at BME and also sent an application to the Ministry of Health for a job. Um, Later that month, I was called for an interview at Belize Medical Associates. I was later hired as a medical officer, and I have been working there for the past 4 years. Um, I'm posted in the emergency department. My main duties working in the emergency department are to assist and triage patients, initiate emergency treatment, and referral to corresponding specialist interconsultations, as well as assist specialists and follow up on patients admitted in ward and update charts. At times, we also assist in the operating room for general surgeries, cesarean section, or orthopedic surgeries. Being part of the emergency team, you will work along with nurses, PCAs, attendants, laboratory technicians, radiology technicians, and you always need to carry yourself in a very respectful manner. As a doctor, you need to be someone who is trustworthy and honest, always a team player because you cannot do it all alone. Sometimes hospitals are very hectic, demanding, and stressful, and I will not lie, it can be a very toxic environment at times. But I think once you have a positive attitude and respect each other, and you are easygoing by nature, you will be able to get along with other colleagues. At the end of the day, and most importantly, you need to serve your patients with the utmost care, respect, and dignity. Well, I would say my hands, Definitely, because you need to examine your patient when you palpate. Another tool would be this device, um, a stethoscope. Um, with this, you would be able to listen to sounds produced within the body, mainly the chest, the heart, the abdomen, and you listen to any abnormalities. Another tool is funny, but you need a pen. We are always writing notes, taking patients' history, and documenting everything we do. So, a pen is necessary. I work a 12-hour shift, so I clock in at 7 a.m. We are handing over patients hospitalized and patients who are in the emergency unit first thing as we get in. And after we're handed over, we go and we check on our patients. I present myself to them and I examine them and in general just check how they're doing. If we have patients for elective surgery in the morning, then we prepare those patients for surgery. After that, then we would check on the patient's chart and notes, making sure that all the medications were given. When the specialist arrives, then we would do something called rounds. Then we go to check on the patients again, and the specialist would make new orders for the day or make any changes to the drug chart, and we just make sure that we follow through all of these throughout the shift, all of these orders. Aside from that, I would attend to any patient that would arrive in the emergency unit, um, and yeah, basically that would be my day. In general, the pandemic has consequentially changed our health system. Initially, we noted health services in different specialties decrease, and the focus was mostly on COVID 19 patients. As people and patients practicing social distancing avoided health facilities, so at the beginning, we used to see only COVID patients. If someone really had an emergency, that's when they would go to the emergency unit. But otherwise, they would stay home. Um, we also saw the major hospitals develop isolation units and also COVID 19 ICU units. At first, there was so much uncertainty and fear for us health workers as we didn't know much about the virus and how severe it could be. I'm sure some of us wanted to quit our jobs and stay home like the rest of people, but we didn't have that choice. We had to continue working. It was terrible to see people die of COVID 19. When the vaccine arrived, we also had doubts and hope at the same time, and hoping that we can overcome this virus. I have witnessed firsthand that thanks to the vaccine, we have been able to better control COVID in Belize. It has literally saved thousands of lives, as well as the use of masks. You should be available to work flexible hours, usually 12-hour shifts, working on weekends. You should be punctual. You should have basic knowledge about illnesses and common diseases to be able to successfully diagnose, investigate, and treat or manage these illnesses and diseases. Being a doctor implies high level of pressure and responsibility, and therefore you have higher level of stress. Number two, mistakes can cause lives. Nevertheless, we are humans and we do have or make mistakes at times. Number three, doctors have high chances of getting sued. Number four, you may have to work long hours at nighttime, on weekends, on holidays, long shift of 12 hours. During your internship, you do 24 hours on call and you're still there the following day until 3 p.m. when your supervisor dismisses you. You may come across people and patients who are very difficult. Um, Number six, many doctors are not able to unplug from their job. They get home and they're still, thinking about their patient, or they get called to come and see patient. This applies mostly for specialists, but it's one of the cons. Number seven, due to the environment that you are in, you are exposed to many diseases and you have high risk of becoming infected. Number eight, it definitely is a long journey, and I think it can be one of the reasons why so many find it challenging. Number nine, I was lucky because it was a scholarship, but I didn't have to pay for school tuition. But you should know that studying medicine is not cheap and there is high tuition fees. Number 10, sleeping problems are quite common among doctors. The pros. Number one, doctors can earn a good, decent salary. Number two, doctors are seen in society highly and are respected. Number three, know that you can help many people and can save many lives. Number four, you learn to be responsible and have a purpose in life. Number five, doctors learn to become leaders. Number six, every single day, you learn something new. Number seven, the medical field is so wide and varied, and you can choose to specialize in something that you are deeply passionate about. Number eight, doctors are always in demand and will always be needed. I think the fact that I'm able to help my family is what keeps me mostly motivated. My advice for you girls and those of you who would be interested in becoming a doctor, know that you will need to make sacrifices. Being away from your family, you might feel lonely at times. You will have to be more independent, and as a woman, we need to make good choices. Set your goals and stay focused. On days that you may feel down or depressed, find something to distract yourself, call your family, or watch a movie or series, listen to music, and just take it one day at a time. You girls are our future. You are the future of this beautiful country of Belize, and I wish you guys the utmost best in whichever career you may choose. I wish you success in your future, and just research on Google or look out for any medical university that you may be interested in. Unfortunately, in Belize, we don't really have a set university, and I would recommend that you find a somewhere close in Mexico, Cuba, Guatemala, Taiwan, or even in the USA. All these universities and what are their requirements. And yeah, keep being strong and smart and intelligent. I wish you all the best.